Hello everyone and welcome to another deck spotlight video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Air Avatar deck, which I believe is probably the best variant of the Avatar deck. There are multiple variants. The classic Air Avatar is the one we can see here, which is Rifle, Laser, Laser Drone, Venom, Phantom, Avatar. There's a few variations on this deck. The first classic one is simply to replace laser drones with bikes. This makes you a little bit less weak to Slingshot. The original deck is obviously quite weak to Slingshot. You don't really have a way to deal with it in the early game. It takes out the majority of your early game units, so it can really prevent you from stalling. So swapping out those laser drones for bikes can give you a much better game against that. The negatives, of course, are that you have to spend a little bit more on that War Factory, and you become a little bit weaker to tanks, because bikes don't really beat tanks, where laser drones do, so it can make defending your harvester a little bit more difficult. The third variation is the Natural Sky Avatar deck, which is the one with Mutant Marauders. This is one that Natural Sky has been playing a lot. This gives you the game power against tanks again. Mutant Marauders beat tanks very easily, and reduces the weakness to Slingshot, but it just generally gives you a more expensive deck, so it's harder to get the Avatar out as quickly. And the final variant is a Fnatic Avatar deck. This is more of a classic 5-card deck with a splash. This deck is designed to function reasonably well without the Avatar, so you can perform acceptably well with no Avatar. And then you can still have access to the Avatar if you need to. So if you see your opponent going double Harvester and you want to beat them in a tech mirror, you can make your own 2 Harvesters and go for that Avatar. Otherwise, you still have these 5 units that can play a normal game plan. This lets you also be more powerful on maps that are terrible for double harvester, such as Lone Spire. So when you really don't want to be making 2 harvesters, you still have a game plan, whereas the other decks are a lot weaker without the Avatar coming out. The weakness of this deck is it's just simply a weaker Avatar deck. It's more expensive. Stealth Tank is not as good a unit to accompany the Avatar as Phantom is. So yeah, it's just a weaker overall Avatar deck, but it's more strength if you're unable to actually get that Avatar out. So a better 5-card deck, but a worse actual Avatar deck. Okay, so let's take a look at the what the deck is strong against and what the deck is weak against. So the first thing this deck is really good against is these Fortress-style decks. So MLRS and Giga Cannon, that kind of thing. These decks tend to set up in a single location. They don't put a lot of pressure on. They give you time. They're quite slow. They give you time to get to your Avatar. And as a super unit, Avatar will just roll through pretty much everything. So these are pretty good matchups. Also, generally aggro decks. Once you get the Avatar out, most aggro decks cannot beat the Avatar Phantom combo. So things like your classic Fnatic aggro deck. And finally, these slow GDI mid-range decks that have been popping up lately. So things like APC, Razorback style decks. These decks are going to be quite weak to super units because they just don't have they don't really have a good way of dealing with an Avatar once it comes out. So yeah, if you can get to the Avatar against them, very strong. Now, the weaknesses, obviously the main weakness is the classic problem of Jade. Jade, almost always you're going to lose the first missile when playing a super unit deck. And then Jade is going to just chem bomb your base, and that'll be it. You'll be dead. It doesn't matter that you get your Avatar out. So Jade is always a huge weakness for tech decks. And the other massive weakness of the Avatar deck is GDI anti-vehicle tech. So primarily the Titan and the Mammoth tank. Titan is very efficient against the Avatar. It only takes 3 or 4 Titan shots to kill an Avatar. Avatar really can only take out 1. Maybe if you're lucky, you can get some damage on a second Titan, but it's very hard to beat multiple Titans with an Avatar, and they're a lot cheaper than it. And of course, the Mammoth tank, which is kind of just a better Avatar. Mammoth tank obviously crushes infantry and can shoot up, whereas Avatar can lose to infantry occasionally and doesn't shoot air at all. The Avatar loses the mirror pretty badly to the Mammoth tank, so yeah, Mammoth tank is a huge weakness. I would say, generally speaking, the way it used to be is that the Avatar deck was superior to the Mammoth Tank deck, simply because the 5 cards were better in the Avatar deck than the Mammoth Tank deck. I don't think that's true anymore. I think the Mammoth Tank deck is probably just the better super unit deck at this point. Alright, so a few tips and tricks with this deck. Obviously, the game plan is to get the Avatar out, so you want to be stalling the pads as much as possible. You need to assume that you're going to be better in the late game than your opponent. Obviously, this isn't always true. Sometimes your opponent playing Mammoth. Sometimes your opponent will be playing things like Basilisk or like Basilisk Stealth Tank or Titans, and you will lose the late game. But you can't play an Avatar deck and assume that you're going to lose the late game. That's just not how it works. You have to assume that you're going to be the strongest in the late game, so you have to stall. And yeah, always keep when you get your avatar out, follow it up with laser troops, because air is your weakness. And then as soon as you can afford it, you want to follow up with a phantom. Don't be afraid to lose the first missile. Obviously, you want to try and buy time and stall it for as long as possible, but don't invest a lot of resources into stalling that missile, because if you invest more resources than you get back from the natural Tiberium ramp, that hurts your game plan rather than helping it. So you do need to make sure that you are stalling, but not overcommitting to that stall. And don't build too many expensive units. Don't try and make too many phantoms early. Don't use your Oksana boost too much until you're using it on the avatar. And yeah, try and get the avatar out around the sort of a quarter to halfway through the second missile, so it's still in time for it to save the game. All right, guys, let's take a look at some games with the avatar deck. All right, so we're playing some avatar. I'm gonna go Harvester first. We might open laser drones because he's playing Nod, although I think he opens barracks every game, so we'll open Rifleman, send him towards the middle. We don't want to let the pads charge, so we want to stall. We want to hang around near the pads. Go second Rifleman. As soon as he starts to charge, we'll stall it. And we'll go second Harvester. Alright, so he's trying to block my Harvester for a little while. That's fine by me, honestly. Like, people think that blocking the Harvester is a big deal, but actually charging the pads is what matters. So the more time he gives me by blocking my Harvester, the happier I am. I'm pretty sure this guy plays Inferno, so that's going to be the thing we need to deal with here. Right, so we're going to go into Venoms. And we might just go Phantom to kill these laser drones. We're going to try and leave him with this one laser drone. Oh, alright, we didn't manage to leave him with one there, sadly. We're going to leave him with these riflemen as well. They're not a threat to us. And he's still not charging the pads. This is really good for us. We're actually pretty close to our avatar, and the missile is not even charged a little bit. So this is fantastic. This is exactly what we want. Alright, so we'll get our avatar. Again, we're going to ignore these units. We'll leave them pop caps, that's fine. We'll just go for his Harvester and then his base. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he has Inferno in his deck. So he's definitely going to be making that to fight my avatar. Yeah, there's the Inferno, so we need a Phantom for that. And we'll go for his base with our avatar. Let's grab this missile quickly. Okay, now we'll go for the base with the avatar. And we win. Alright. So yeah. He really should have been charging the pads. If you don't charge the pads, you easily win with avatar decks. Alright, Peaks and Valleys not a great map for our deck. We're going to go Harvester, then Rifle Scout. We're against Jade as well. Against Jade, I think it's important to actually potentially play the first missile on one Harvester, because you'll lose to a Jade base kill if you lose the first missile. So you actually just have to try and win a normal game. We still want to stall, because if we get to the late game, then we can still make an avatar. But yeah, we're probably going to be forced to play a one Harvester game plan for a while. Right, so it's Chemical Buggy with the laser drones. Chemical Buggy is less of a threat than Chem Warriors. It's easier to stop it getting to your base. So we can potentially go double Harvester against this. It's just spamming chemical buggies now. For venom for the lasers. We can't use militants. Alright, that should be first missile for me. Very nice. Now we need to sacrifice these militants so we can get our second harvester. Go, second harvester. He's got a phantom. Sure, it's probably the Jade laser drone deck. It looks like so far. Oh, he has chemical buggy, so I guess not. He's gone for a phantom. We'll let some stuff go we don't care about. Then we'll try and build our avatar. We're just going to save for avatar here. Maybe make a couple of cheap units along the way. Like some rifles. But yeah, we're not going to build anything expensive until we've got our until we've got the avatar. And there we go. Now we just use the avatar to destroy everything. Run away from the camp missile. Alright, now we choose the avatar to kill everything. And he concedes. Alright, cool.
Mission accomplished. 3, 2, 1. New mission received.
Alright, so harvester, then we'll go rifles to scout. Two-pad map should be easier to stall on. On wheels first, we'll run away. Get a single laser squad.
Militia here. Laser squad. Destroy. Laser squad. Power and precision. Ready. No stopping.
Stall this missile.
His will moves with your command. Militia for Kane.
The laser drones here.
Our lasers will move. Lasers taking.
Awaiting orders.
Fanatics. Stall against those as well.
Go. What's needed?
Yes.
What's needed?
Ready. I obey.
Destroy lasers as he designed. Just take unit ready. Fighter.
We can make our second harvester pretty soon, but the longer we can stall, the better.
Serve.
The swarm will eliminate the
Unit offline.
weak. Moving and setting. Processing.
Right, let's get the second harvester now.
All the readiness. Faith in. Militia. No stop. Ready for Kane. What's needed? Brothers move out.
Await.
Militia.
Scanning.
No, destroy them.
Ready to eliminate.
Take your position. Avenge me, brother. The unbelievers will suffer.
Then we'll go for a venom. These fanatics. There's a Giga Cannon. We're going to boost these lasers because we do need to kill the Giga Cannon instead of letting it kill our harvesters. Very nice. Get off this pad. And he's rendered? Alright, cool. Feels good. Okay. So Mesa this time. The harvester first and send it down.
Building online.
We'll get some laser troops because we know he opens wheels. Playing Fanatic aggro. We'll get stalling.
Laser squad. Power and precision.
Get a second laser squad because he's going to go second wheels.
Lasers move for the lasers as he does. Your command. Taking position.
I want to keep stalling.
His will. Laser squad.
Now we're going to do the stall dance.
Lasers charged.
Harvester ready.
Your command.
He gets a second unit on the second pad.
As he desires.
Now we push onto the middle.
Your command. We'll hit them. Laser squad.
Fanatics, so we're going to run away.
Taking position.
Let's just let these guys die to stall a little bit.
Building online.
Then we'll go laser drones.
Laser squad.
Unit ready.
Go stall up top.
Lasers. Lasers.
Our base is under attack.
Laser squad. Ready for anything.
Await moving and setting.
Unit ready. Unit offline.
As he does the lasers charged.
Unit ready. Unit enhanced.
Taking position.
Ah, I didn't quite manage to stall. That's annoying. I wasted a bunch of Tiberium there trying to get that stall as well.
Damage received.
Unfortunate turn of events.
Weapons charging.
Honor to the brother.
Tank. Had Giga last time, so I guess he's changed his deck.
With precision.
Alright, we're going to block these bikes in.
Offline.
And get laser drones for the tank.
Honor ordinance. The swarm awaits.
One for Banshee.
Excellent.
as he designed.
So they will be destroyed.
We need to get Phantom before we can go for the Avatar, because can't make an Avatar with the Banshee on the field, really.
Delivering destruction from above. Phantom ready to shut it down.
Unit offline.
Phantom
Unit ready.
EMP
You want to keep getting the stall on.
Unit offline.
Venom flying out.
Ready to deploy.
Phantom with EMP missiles on the move.
Scanning.
Tearing them, taking.
We really need an Avatar now. Doesn't look like we're going to get there in time. This is the problem with tech decks. When your opponent knows what they're doing, they just stop you. They just win the game before the tech comes out. This Phantom needs to kill this Banshee. Didn't kill it. Alright, that might be game then. Don't think this Avatar can hold long enough. Yeah, and we lose.
Missile launched. Laser squad. Power and precision. Our base has been destroyed. Three, two, one. New mission received. Carefully now.
Okay, so we'll go Harvester first.
Building
We
online.
have some rifles.
Unit ready.
He's up to. He's gone rifles as well. Go stall.
What's needed?
The second rifle.
Destroy the GDI. Militia here. Militia here. Destroy the GDI.
And we're gonna make our second Harvester.
Mr. Moving.
Alright, so he's also gone double Harvester. This means he's probably in a Mammoth deck. If he is a Mammoth deck, then we automatically lose, basically. It's very, very difficult to beat Mammoth with Avatar ever.
Eliminate the weak. Swarming. Exterminate.
So we're going to try and harass a Harvester.
Awaits.
We can maybe sneak a Harvester kill. We can potentially get our Avatar out before his Mammoth, but doing that is going to be very difficult.
Unit offline. Kill the lasers charged.
As a Razorback. Okay, well, we can't ever beat a Razorback. The fact he has Razorback means it might not be a Mammoth deck. But we can't really kill a Razorback in the early game. We have to make a Phantom to fight it, and it's impossible to catch. Still wipes out our missile troops.
Unit ready.
EMP missiles on the move.
Lasers kill them all.
EMP Phantom moving to course.
Laser squad ready for
Phantom awaiting target.
unit offline. Fighters, arm up. Lasers move.
We're gonna put the Phantom on the top pad and go harass. Oh, so it's Sandstorm? Alright, well if it's Sandstorm we can win. Avatar obviously beats Sandstorm pretty easily. Looks like he's gonna maybe try and go for the base. No, he's just putting on the pad. Alright, well the Avatar should win this matchup very easily.
Unit offline.
Alright, we'll go for a second Phantom because he's got a Mohawk. Alright, so we kill both Harvesters. We can farm the Sandstorms with the Avatars. It should be a free win. Yep, he surrenders. Alright. Cool. Don't know why he went double Harvester there. Assuming that Sandstorm is going to beat whatever tech I have is insane, because Sandstorm is not good versus other tech.
3, 2, 1. New objective.
Right, so we're going to go Harvester first and put it in the corner.
Building online. Unit ready.
On dogs. Alright. Gonna get some lasers to fight the dogs. Starting the pad so we'll stall.
Just taking position. We're ready to serve. Lasers taking position. Laser squad. Power and precision. His will. Laser squad. Ready for
Pretty happy just to do nothing here whilst we're stalling.
Lasers. As taking fire.
We'll get second Harvester.
Harvest. Lasers just no stopping.
There's an MSV, okay.
Needed. We're ready.
MSV and a Shatterer, so it looks like a Fortress deck.
Building online. Unit ready.
The swarm moves. Excellent.
So we'll get laser drones for the Shatterer. He's gonna get a slingshot, obviously. We're gonna get some lasers. We can't actually beat a slingshot in the early game, so our game plan is just gonna be to stall.
We'll hit them with precision.
Hopefully my lasers can get one more shot off. Nice.
Ready to
His will moves with us.
Gonna try and be on one pad still.
Building online.
Alright, so we're getting some pretty good stall here.
Swarming. Exterminate.
Slingshot will wipe out everything. There's no way we can beat Slingshot and Shatter until we have the Avatar. So at this point we just wait. There's no point throwing units into the fortress because that just costs me money. So I just wait for my Avatar here. Like maybe I lose the first missile, but that doesn't matter because I have an Avatar. So we lose first missile, we boost the Avatar to kill the MLRS. Get the MSV. Get the MLRS. Very nice. We wipe out all of his units. Now we need to try and go for his Harvester. We need to make sure this Avatar lives as well. That's really important. We can't afford a new one yet. So we go for the Harvester. Once that's dead, we'll be able to get a new Avatar. Alright, and we'll go on the base as well. Forces him to move up and do something about it. And as soon as he tries to move, we'll move in and kill him. Like this. Alright, and there you go. That should be game over. It doesn't really matter what the missile charge is like at this point because we just have Avatars and he has nothing. And there you go. That's how you beat Fortress with Avatar.
Mission accomplished. 3, 2, 1. New objective.
Okay, so again we're going to Harvester first, put it in the corner.
Online.
The rifle, see what he's up to. He's got wheels, we're going to back up.
Destroy the GD.
Some lasers and go stall the pads.
What's needed? Your command. Laser squad, power and your command. Lasers move for the Brotherhood. His will moves with us.
And Harvester, keep the pads yellow as often as possible.
Precision. As he disarms, lasers charged.
Alright, it's got Fanatics. We need to go air now.
Ready for anything. Your command. We'll hit them with precision.
Building online.
Got some laser drones.
Scanning.
Circular brother.
Scanning. Eliminate the weak. Exterminate.
Unit offline.
Swarm ready to exterminate. The swarm ready to eliminate.
Boosted his bikes for some reason, it's all weird.
Destroy. Obey.
I'm actually going to let these laser drones die just to go a little bit longer.
Scanning. Await the swarm. Scanning.
Venom's supposed to be over here.
Ready to exterminate.
Unit offline.
Swarming. Swarm moving and scanning.
I don't mind these laser drones dying as long as they keep the pads yellow for a little while.
Unit offline.
Get some lasers as well. Can potentially win the first missile here. By getting lasers onto the middle, it's something that's harder for him to remove quickly. Rifles. Move these lasers over here, move this over here. Maybe get this first missile here. That would be a big deal. Oh, we get first missile. Okay, so now we just also win. We have Avatar and we got first missile. There we go. Get Avatar, boost it, to protect our Harvester. Not that the Harvester really matters, but you know, well. Go kill his Harvester. And then we'll just make another Avatar.
Unit ready.
And now he has to beat 2 Avatars, which just seems very unlikely to happen.
Unit offline.
Now we're not going to make units here because we need to save up in case he makes an air unit. We want to be able to make a Phantom. We're just going to send both Avatars to his base. Don't care about our Harvester at all anymore.
Our base is under attack.
Alright, easy.
Our base is under attack. Enemy base destroyed.